Welcome back to Clark's Ring Rants. Let's get straight into today's video. So coming up this Saturday we have Dalton Smith challenging Subriel Matias for his WBC Super Lightweight World title over at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York. The champion, Subriel Matias, comes into this fight with a record of 23 wins, 22 wins by way of knockout and 2 defeats. He's 33 years old, he's from Puerto Rico, he fights out of the orthodox stance, he's 5'8" tall and he has a 71-inch reach. Now for the challenger, Dalton Smith, he currently is 18-0 with 13 wins inside the distance. He's 28 years old, he fights out of the orthodox stance and he's 5'9" tall, so he's slightly taller than Matias. His reach isn't listed here on BoxRec, but I'd imagine it's slightly bigger than Matias's reach. Now, back to Matias. What I think he does well, what are his keys to victory, and even a potential blueprint that's already there to beat him. So, as his record suggests, he's a very, very good puncher. I wouldn't say it's one-punch knockout power like Deontay Wilder or Tommy Hearns or Julian Jackson or anything like that, but it's very, very, very respectable power. It's more thudding punches with an accumulation that sort of wears you down and beats you into submission. It's a bit more like Artur Beterbiev's power, if that makes sense. He even had a spell in his career where he managed to make 5 consecutive opponents quit and retire in the corner. This run came to an end in 2024 though, when he was comprehensively beaten on the scorecards by Liam Paro, losing his IBF Super Lightweight World title. He bounced back from this with 2 impressive TKO victories back in his homeland of Puerto Rico, and he then challenged Alberto Puello for the WBC Super Lightweight title. He won a 12-round majority decision and therefore became a 2-time Super Lightweight World Champion. This bringing us up to his next fight where Dalton Smith will look to rip that belt away from him. Now, if you asked me to describe Subriel Matias and how he fights, I would summarise him as being a come forward, aggressive, power punching pressure fighter. He's somebody who has that very, very tight high guard. He's coming forward, he's looking to cut the ring off, try to back you into a corner and let his hands go with those big, powerful shots. That's something he does really well, as his record suggests, but there is a way to beat him, and I'll go into that a little bit later on in this video. But as for Matias and his chances of winning this fight, I think the best thing for him to do is be super aggressive. He's going to want to come forward, he's going to want to cut that ring off, he's going to want to try and intimidate Dalton Smith with his power and back him up into a corner and let those shots go. I don't think he's going to turn into Pernell Whitaker or Muhammad Ali and get behind a jab and box his way to a comfortable decision. That's just not how he fights. He's coming for the knockout, he's coming to take your head off. So I think it's really important for Matias in this fight to get to work nice and early, super aggressive, look to cut that ring down, make it as small as possible and uncomfortable for Smith. Now, as for Dalton Smith, who, as I previously mentioned, comes into this fight with an unbeaten record, has a lot of tools I think he can utilise in this fight to give himself the best chance of winning. One of those tools I noticed when I recently went back to watch his fight with Jose Zepeda, and that was his jab. He's got an excellent jab. It's sharp, it's accurate, it's fast, and he's got a very good straight right hand as well. He throws very good, sharp, fast, straight punches that are very accurate. He sort of reminds me of Kell Brook in that way, but I think he moves a lot better than Kell Brook on the back foot around the ring. So what I think Dalton Smith is going to look to do in this fight would be, he's going to use that jab, he's going to implement that nice and early, he's going to look to offset Matias, and he's going to look to use a bit of movement, try and offset him. You don't want to let a big, powerful, punching pressure fighter like Matias to plant his feet. You want to keep him moving, you want to not allow him that opportunity to set, to let those big punches go. And I think that's something that Smith is more than capable of in this fight. I think he's going to look to utilise movement, he's going to utilise that jab, upstairs, downstairs. He's going to want to slow Matias down. One thing I do think he could implement which may seem counterintuitive and some people may think it sounds a little bit crazy, but just let me explain. I think if he can hold his feet at times and earn the respect of Matias, that is going to go a long way to deterring him and stopping him just marching forward and trying to walk Dalton Smith down. If you think something similar to what Terence Crawford was able to do in the fight against Canelo. Now, he predominantly fought that fight on the back foot, outworking, out-jabbing, just outboxing Canelo. But he had moments in that fight where he stood there and he picked his moments and he actually got the better of it on the inside and he was able to deter Canelo. I think if Dalton Smith can do that in this fight, pick his moments, don't do it recklessly, he's got a very, very good chance of winning this fight. So now for a prediction for this fight, and I know Matias does a lot of things well. I think he's got a very, very good chance of winning this fight, but I do think Dalton Smith is going to take this one, and I do believe Britain is going to have a new world champion by Sunday morning. I think Dalton Smith is going to win this fight on points. I think he's got the tools, he's got the height, he's got the reach, he's got the jab, he's got the movement, he's got the variation. I think if he can mould all those things together and utilise his skills, he's got enough to beat Matias on points and sort of deter him, keep him moving, give him a few different looks and win a decision. One thing I will say though, with this fight being in New York and the controversy surrounding Matias at the moment, we all know he failed that test. I just hope Dalton Smith gets a fair shake from the judges, and if he does win the fight, I want him to win it deservedly. I don't want any skullduggery, any robberies, so I just hope and pray we get good judges in this fight. But to reiterate my point, I think Dalton Smith is going to win this fight. I think he's got the skills, I think he's fresher, he's younger. I believe he's going to be WBC world champion by Sunday morning. So those are my thoughts. That's my prediction for this fight. I think Dalton Smith's going to win on points. But what do you think? Leave a comment, tell me what you think, like this video, share, subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.